Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to UITV. Happy New Year to everybody. UITV is basically a science TV. I'll be talking on biology and chemistry topics. Feel free to click on the subscription channel if you are new to this station, so that anytime I come online, you always have a notification. But today I'll be starting with biology and with a topic called the respiratory system. All right, join me in the course of this. Now, anytime you hear about the respiratory system, there's one thing that normally comes to the mind of everybody: how we breathe. What do we normally take in? Oxygen, and take out carbon dioxide. But the question is, how does this oxygen get into the body? So in the course of this lecture today, I'll be talking about everything, how this whole process normally takes place. But the first question is, what is the respiratory system? The respiratory system actually comprises of the nasal cavity, the pharynx, which you can also call the throat, the larynx, the trachea, the right and the left lungs, the bronchi, and the alveoli. All right. I haven't said this, but what is the main function now of respiratory system? Now, the in thing about the respiratory system is our body needs oxygen for metabolic processes. All right. So now, how does this oxygen normally get into the body? Now, there's what we call the diaphragm, the intercostal muscles, and other accessory muscles. Now, these muscles have to contract, and when they contract, oxygen will now flow via the nasal cavity into the body. All right. But there's one key factor I really want to emphasize on here. The respiratory system actually relies strictly on the circulatory system. For what? For the exchange of gases. That is the key thing. All right. But in the course of this lecture, I will explain that aspect to you. All right. So let's start. So oxygen will now move from the nasal cavity, which is right here, and moves down. All right. In the nasal cavity now, it actually helps to warm and humidifies the air as it goes into the pharynx. All right. Then from the pharynx, it moves what we call to the larynx. But something happens in this. All right. In the pharynx, there's what we call air that actually helps to filter foreign bodies that normally comes into the body through the air when we breathe in. All right. So the pharynx and the larynx have air that helps to filter all these foreign bodies. But in the lining of the pharynx, the larynx, and the trachea are what we call mucous lining, which has cilia in them that actually helps to sweep out these foreign particles as sputum out of the body in order to help the body to fight against infection. Okay, having said that, the air moves from the nasal cavity to the pharynx, from the pharynx to the larynx. Now, the larynx actually have 9 cartilages, but I will emphasize on 2 important cartilages. The very first one is the thyroid cartilage, which we can also call the Adam's apple. Then the other one is called the epiglottis. The epiglottis is a lid that actually covers the larynx if man is eating, so that any foreign body will not get into the trachea. Then now the air now moves from the larynx to the trachea. The trachea has a cup-shaped cartilage, which actually makes the trachea to be elastic. Now the oxygen moves from the trachea now and moves into what we call the bronchi. The bronchi actually divides into 2, which is the right lungs and the left lungs. All right. The bronchi now extends into each of these lungs, and each of these bronchi, when they are inside the lungs now, it is subdivides further to what we call the bronchioles. All right. At the end of every bronchioles is what we call the alveoli. The alveoli is actually the air sac of the body. This is where gaseous exchange normally takes place. I won't say that. I want to clean this entire stuff I've drawn here, and I want to magnify the alveoli sac and explain how the gaseous exchange normally takes place there. Okay. Okay, now this example, this is the alveoli sac, or we call it the alveolus, right, in the lungs. Now, okay, there is a vessel coming from the heart. This vessel is called the pulmonary artery. You see, the pulmonary artery is coming from the heart, and this is coming from. Hello everybody, welcome back to UI TV. This is the respiratory system. It's continuation of what I was talking about before. All right, so this is the alveolus. This is actually the air sac of the lungs. All right, this is where gaseous exchange normally take place. Remember, when I begin this lecture, I actually made mention of that the respiratory system depends solely on the circulatory system for gaseous exchange to take place. Now, this is the alveolus, and it's rich in what we call oxygen now, and this is how oxygen normally gets into the body. All right, but this is called the pulmonary artery. It's a vessel coming from the heart towards the alveolus for exchange of gases to actually take place. Pulmonary artery contains lots of carbon dioxide, so invariably it is called deoxygenated gases. That's what it normally carries. Okay, so pulmonary artery, now this vessel moves all the way towards the alveolus, but as it's getting close to the alveolus, it will start subdividing into a thinner vessel, which is called the arterioles. So the arterioles also will now subdivide more into a much more thinner vessel, which we call the capillaries, in order for gaseous exchange to be effective. All right, so at the bottom of the alveolus now, where you find more capillaries, the carbon dioxide that is in the pulmonary artery now, all right, via what we call diffusion, will go into the alveolus, all right, and it will be exhaled out of the body. Then the oxygen that is in the alveolus, all right, we come via diffusion also, will go out from the alveolus and get into the capillaries. The oxygen and carbon dioxide happens simultaneously in the alveolus. All right, so the oxygen that comes out from the alveolus, it gets into the capillaries now. All right, so another vessel will start building up that will take the oxygen into the heart, and by so doing it will be pumped to other parts of the body. All right, so the oxygen diffuses into the capillaries. All right, then the vessel builds up from the venous to the pulmonary vein. This venous and pulmonary vein now is rich in oxygen. Okay, it carries the oxygen from the alveolus now, all right, into the heart. Then as it gets into the heart, the largest artery in the body, which is called the aorta, will now pump out oxygenated blood to other cells of the body for the utilization. With that being said, I hope I've been able to explain how the oxygen that we take in gets into our blood, and the carbon dioxide that is no longer in use in the body is being exhaled via our nostrils. I really want to say thank you, and I appreciate you guys for listening, and feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that next time I come again, you will always get a notification. I really want to say Happy New Year to everybody.
Share and like.
And also share and like. And finally, if you have any comments, you feel free to write the comment and just let me know so that I will really know what my viewers are actually talking about. Feel free, click and like, share, and do just click and share, because Science TV, which is UI TV, Science TV, we come up with more and more topics, edifying topics that will really stop the cumbersome thinking of people. All right, so I really want to say thank you.